求め続けたあの日の夜
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 103 of the Anime Degens podcast. Super excited to be here with Nam and Tyler today. Best way to support the podcast, if you haven't rate it, tell your homies, let them know what the Degens are up to. If you have any interesting topics you'd like us to discuss, let us know in the Discord. Linktree.com/animedegens has all our socials, Discord, YouTube, if you want to watch us talk and see Tyler's pretty face. Otherwise, how you boys doing?
Doing great today. It's a lovely whatever day it is today. I'm excited to be talking about the things we're going to be talking about.
Anime.
I don't want to spoil it because I don't think we said what we was going to be talking about on last
W-
episode. So
I mean, we didn't know what we were going to be talking about until right after last episode.
well,
So,
I think you
That
said
is
you had
true.
some ideas, but you said that nobody knew
We
about them yet. So
yeah,
yeah.
we never revealed it. We
Yeah.
haven't revealed it.
If you know anything about hosting a podcast, which some of you do, you just figure it out as you go. It's all bullshit. That's why it's the bullshit hour.
Yeah,
You
I
think
love
we
it.
have a
lying.
plan?
We don't have. We've never. So we've been doing this for 2 years now, and we've never had a plan the whole time.
You just need an ideas guy.
It gets even worse though for Tyler because like he tries to put all this thought and planning into absolutely everything that we do. And then meanwhile, like Dan and I, whenever we're just doing an episode, we're like, yeah, dude, why do we even need notes? We're just gonna wing it anyways. Fuck it.
Yeah. Tyler's
Let's
like,
do it.
we should do this really in-depth topic. And I'm like, fuck it, let's talk about anime tits. And then we talked about anime tits.
I don't think we've ever talked about anime tits.
Not with you here.
You might not
Me
have.
and Krieger did that. Well, we talked about Dami Mommies, but you know, through the transitive property.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. Uh, I'm. I think I was supposed to be there for that episode, wasn't I? Because I was
No.
gonna. No, I think that was another one. We was picking waifus, right? Me, you, and Bass, and I didn't get to make it, and I was so sad because I didn't get to say Yurichi. So, but
We know,
I'm sure
Tyler.
somebody was happy.
You don't need to say it. We know. You've said it enough. You can lay that to rest.
Just
Just
you
let
never
it
know.
die, man. Just
You
let
never
it
know
die.
when a new person is listening to us yap. You know, maybe they don't know yet, so I have to let them know. So
You let them know every other episode, so you're definitely doing the Lord's work.
hell yes. I mean, they
For
gotta know, and
Lightning
they're gonna
Cat
find
Mommy.
out, huh?
I said for Lightning Cat Mommy.
I mean, they're gonna find out next arc of Bleach, so or next part of Bleach is all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, spoilers. Sorry, the manga came out 12 years ago. Deal with it.
Anime onlys ain't ready, are they, Dan?
No,
Hopefully
I'm
they're
not
doing
ready, dude.
justice. Please,
Like
Kubo.
the panel is great, but Perot throwing around that budget the way they are,
Yeah.
it's gonna be really great.
Alrighty.
Well, cool. Well, should we get into some news?
Yeah. So the first thing we got is as y'all know, the DGs are coming up soon. I think we're pushing it back a week. I know we recently said it was gonna be 104. I think it's gonna be 105, right? Right, Dan?
Yeah, I got a work thing next week, so I'm not around all week.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But regardless, you know, the DGs are still coming and it's still gonna be a fun time. So we're just gonna be bullshitting all that stuff. We also got a new thing this year we're doing for the listeners. We're letting y'all vote, have a say as well in the DGs, which is pretty fun. So, well, I mean, for their own little part, you know.
Yeah, we'll get to
So,
say who they picked,
yeah.
but they're not affecting our vote.
Yeah, but it's still fun regardless to be able to let the listeners, you know, kind of see what they would pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they are the tiebreaker too, so that's very important. Like,
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I think last time we only had like a few that was tied between us, you know, And so it'll be interesting to, see how that affects the winners this time instead of, just Kriegs affecting
Yeah,
it.
me and Nam are gonna gang up on you for anything related to the initial D series. So they're not even gonna get to worry about that. It's gonna be
By the
perfect.
way, I just want to let you know, Dan, I did not put the gas award on the listeners vote because
You
I
should
didn't
have.
feel like it would make any sense.
No, it would have been really funny.
which which which
Which which Takumi do you want to vote for?
Takumi, the first Takumi, the second Takami, and the third Takami.
Nobody else should win that award. I
But
don't care that MF Ghost exists. Nobody else should win the Gas award.
it's funny. I just got done looking at the poll stats earlier, and right now we got like a 50-50 split tie between Goku and Anna Yanami from Makien for the bottomless pit award.
Bro, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Rimuru Tempest is literally a bottomless pit. His
Hey,
ability
He
is called
is.
Glutton.
hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying. It's literally I didn't think I'd ever see like Goku going up against Anna. I figured it would be, Goku and Rimuru. So
Hey man,
uh
I don't know who Anna is, but she's not getting my vote. She doesn't deserve it.
she loves to eat. I'll just say that much.
Donk's gotta eat.
She's the one I was telling you about where they literally after every episode the anime like made a calorie counter showing how many calories she eats per episode. So
Damn.
yeah.
Is she fat?
No.
Oh,
She-
she's fit.
yeah, she's just,
Bet.
someone that likes to eat. I guess they have the metabolism that's working in their favor. So um
Awesome.
but yeah, anyways, back to what I was saying. DG's coming up. The poll is out right now. Y'all have until Friday, January 24th. That will be the last day to vote. So make sure y'all go vote. I've been putting links in the description. It's in the Discord. It's all on our social media too. So go do your part and vote for, Anna Yanami. So
Don't do
don't
that.
don't vote for Goku.
Go for Rimuru.
Vote for Rimuru.
Ryu's gonna come back and win it all, baby.
Awesome. So in other news, we have a solo leveling live action being worked on. Hopefully by the time this comes out, me and Nam will be able to name the characters from solo leveling.
Yeah, okay, they will.
Dude,
Look,
we're
I
not
know
gonna. We already
two.
got into it.
I know two people. Okay, I only know two, and it's because it's Sung Jinwoo, right, and then Huang Dongsu, and that's because his name is actually funny. It says Dong. Okay.
Yeah,
I can
well,
name the shadows. Does that count? There's like
freaking,
Cheyenne. She's pretty hot, so I know that one.
there you go. Yeah, I didn't know that they had a live action coming out. It would be super cool if they got I don't know if y'all have ever seen like Alex Lay doing like the Jinwoo song, whatever the hell his name is, cosplays or whatever on Twitter. But he's super cool. It would be funny if like they let him do it. So it'd be so awesome.
Yeah,
Without a
definitely.
doubt.
Except he's not Korean and doesn't speak Korean. So, well, he might be Korean, but doesn't speak Korean. So that I know of.
He can do the English, right?
Well,
I wonder if he does speak.
well, I don't think it's gonna be it's not like an American-made live action, isn't them in Japan or Korea?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know nothing about this. But
I
hey,
mean,
but
like every other anime or
but
webtoon turned live action, I don't think it's gonna be made in America.
but Alex Lee was born in Vietnam according to IMDb. So there's a chance. There's a chance
Will's
that he knows, a lot of languages. You know what I mean?
We'll see what happens when we get closer to the actual reveal of more information and the trailer and stuff like that. They'll
Yeah.
give us a lot better idea.
I'm just gonna
What's
warn you now that Vietnamese is very different than Korean or Japanese. So I'm just gonna warn you now. The language is very different.
I know.
Cool. Well,
I just like saying random shit sometimes.
Wakey
Yeah,
Wakey is coming to the big screen, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited. And something else that actually we can get excited about. Gachi is apparently getting an anime this year. Um, After doing a little bit of research into this, this is written by Kei Urana, who is a fan of Soul Eater and has worked on Fire Force. So the art style looks pretty cool as far as what they've shown on the one picture and stuff like that.
The
Kind of exciting.
big takeaway from this anime coming out this year, this adaptation, is that Nam said it was gonna overtake One Piece as his number
Oh,
one of
whoa,
all
whoa,
time.
whoa.
Because
Hold
this is
up here.
basically One Piece times Fire Force, and he
We are
said
not
that was
It,
peak.
it does
we are
not sound like that at all.
we are
But
not
yeah, sure.
bringing any kind of One Piece slander from me in here, buddy.
Only we're allowed to talk shit about One Piece. Nam
Yeah.
can't. Nam can't. He's not allowed to. If I say
It's
that One Piece pacing is bad, Nam just says I'm uneducated. It's a very simple reply.
exactly. It's my longest lasting relationship. You're not about to shit on it now, okay? Fuck
That's
you.
funny.
But no, it does look really interesting. Hopefully it's also really exciting when it drops. So keep an eye out for it sometime later this year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Our last bit of news: Suichi Ikeda is stepping down from some voice acting roles. He was the voice of Char Anzabal in Gundam. My man. He's also the voice actor for Shanks. But since Shanks only says 3 things every 7 years, we don't know if he's going to step down from that one. I also don't know how he's stepping down from Char because Char is from an anime that dropped in the 70s. So I don't know who wrote this, but I don't get it.
Maybe ain't they
It's
doing like
news.
a
We needed
reboot or
something.
something?
The reboot already happened, dude. It's done.
I
It
got
happened
you.
like 6 years ago.
Oh, maybe it's like the other universes or something. I don't know.
Well, every universe has their version of Char, but yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Sexy blonde man in a mask. Every
All I
Gundam
know
series has it.
is that it's a possibility that Shanks. I mean, that he could step down from Shanks too if he's stepping down from other roles. So hopefully, like I was telling the boys, maybe they got all his lines already recorded since he's just basically been being paid to chill for 20 years. So
I mean, I don't think that's how voice acting works, but sure.
yeah, well, it's one of those things where I'm just saying shit again.
Tyler has no idea how the real world works, and we vibe with it. Well, awesome. You guys ready to get into our topic?
Yeah, let's
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
So we're gonna be looking at some Saturday morning cartoons this week. We're gonna go back. We're gonna kick it old school. Grab your bowl of cereal. Go sit in front of your big square TV that was most likely just on the ground because nobody could afford TV stands back in the day. And we're gonna talk about some anime that most of us didn't even know was anime. But the key here is that it wasn't necessarily focused on telling a good story. It was focused on making our parents go spend a lot of money on toys and shit. So we're gonna dive into 3 of the largest toy slash anime franchises of our childhood this week. And we're gonna dive into a lot of things, but this always makes me think of the Chin Pokemon episode of South Park. You gotta buy them all. because that's what we did with all of these shows. So South Park was cooking with this one.
It
And
definitely was.
Pokemon.
When was South Park ever wrong, bro?
Never.
Never.
Exactly. Just like Family
Never.
Guy. Family Guy just isn't wrong.
Wait, Simpsons tells the future, so
Yes.
That is true. I wonder if they are telling us who is going to win the Super Bowl this year. If it's going to be Washington or if it's going to be another Chiefs victory.
I like how you just left a team that's gonna beat the Chiefs up
Yeah,
next
the Bills.
week and totally destroy them like they did in the regular season. And you also left out who's on the NFC side?
Eagles.
Eagles. Oh, that's gonna be such a good game.
It will be. I'm rooting for Saquon, right? Like he's done so good this year. But it would be so cool to see a rookie quarterback who like to make it to the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? That would be so, fun. But
I
I
just
definitely
worry.
I'd like to see the Bills, go over the Chiefs because I don't want to see Taylor Swift no more. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, not in the NFL games
Yeah.
or anywhere really. My wife would disagree, but I think everybody's wife would disagree.
I'm just tired of hearing
Exactly.
the narrative. Taylor Swift, is the cause of all this, and
Well,
she's the reason why. Blah blah.
no.
Yeah.
The good news is that Fox has the Super Bowl. So even if the Chiefs make it, we don't have to listen to Chris Collinsworth deep throat Patrick Mahomes for the entire game.
That is true. That's true. Either way, it should be a fun time. Super Bowl, and I'm sure The Simpsons has already foretold what's going to happen. So I just haven't found it yet.
Awesome. Nam, you want to get us started with the biggest franchise on this list?
Yeah. Biggest is definitely one way to put it. So much so that it even got spoofed in a very specific episode you mentioned earlier. For those of you playing the home game, we're talking about Pokemon. Who never watched Pokemon, honestly? Like, throughout all the years that it's been airing, right? There is no way that you have not seen something of Pokemon, been engrossed in Pokemon.
I don't
Dude,
even think like the new gen, like kids or like or whatever. I think that they have seen some sort of Pokemon. They have been like, uh, they've interacted with Pokemon in some way. Surely, it may
oh
not
my,
be as big as when we was kids or whatever, but surely they have seen some
Even
sort of
even bigger,
Pokemon.
honestly.
Yeah, you
yeah, I
think
was gonna
so?
say my niece. I don't think the craze is as big as it when we were kids. Like the craze going on right now is a bunch of grown ass adults buying cards because they want to
Yeah,
go gamble.
it's still us.
It's still us. Um,
Yes.
but no, I can tell you all my nieces love Pokemon. Like it's not going anywhere.
Exactly. So to give you guys a bit of a summary for those of you who haven't seen it in a while, may have forgotten.
Live under a
Um
fucking rock.
I wasn't gonna go there, but I'm
We're
trying to give
going there.
everyone the benefit of the doubt. So Pokemon are peculiar creatures with a vast array of different abilities and appearances. Many people, known as Pokemon trainers, capture and train them, often with the intent of battling others. Young Ash has not only dreamed of becoming a Pokemon trainer, but also a Pokemon master. And on the arrival of his 10th birthday, he finally has a chance to make that dream a reality. Unfortunately for him, all three Pokemon available to beginning trainers have already been claimed, and only Pikachu, a rebellious electric type Pokemon, remains. However, this chance encounter would mark the start of a lifelong friendship and an epic adventure.
Pikachu the goat, baby.
Epic is an understatement.
Truthfully.
This shit went longer than One Piece, dude.
It's still going,
Yeah, but Ash's story is
Well,
finally done.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, we'll
true.
we'll get into that one in a little bit. But
Oh,
basically, setting off on a journey to become the very best, Ash and Pikachu travel across beautiful, sprawling regions with their friends, Misty, a water type trainer, and Brock, a rock type trainer. But danger lurks around every corner. The infamous Team Rocket is always nearby, seeking to steal powerful Pokemon through nefarious schemes. It'll be up to Ash and his friends to thwart the efforts, as he also strives to earn the 8 Pokemon Gym badges he'll need to challenge the Pokemon League and eventually claim the title of Pokemon Master.
bro's got like 70 gym badges at this point.
Yes.
Look,
Um,
all I know to say, like, so I was literally today's years old when I found out that their names wasn't actually Ash or Misty and Brock.
I jumped in
I've
here
known.
and I looked at Nam's summary and I was like, bro, are you too good to talk about the 4 kids dub of Pokemon? Like, why the fuck are we talking about Satoshi and Kasumi and Takashi, bro? What are we doing here? We need to
No, no,
talk
no,
about
no. I was going to change it. I was going to autocorrect it as I was speaking it. I was just too lazy. Okay, I did a copy pasta here. Okay, this is from Mal.
love
Um,
it.
but yeah, no. For those of us who actually grew up watching this, we all got the absolutely horrendous 4 kids dub.
Incredible is the
Which
correct term.
Yeah, incredible.
no,
What are you
no, no, no,
what
no,
are you
no.
talking? You mean to tell me, Dan, you let Nom do Pokemon when he's
I
gonna talk
dude,
shit
I
about him?
didn't know the slander was coming like this.
4 kids.
Bro,
4 kids. The only thing
What
that they
did you
got right
watch it in?
was that Vikings came from Minnesota.
dude, one
Did
of the
you watch
greatest.
this in Japanese as a kid?
No, he didn't. He's just being pretentious right now, is what he's doing. One of the greatest lines in anime history is frying pan, more like a drying pan, and then using it as an umbrella. That's timeless.
I mean, look at even like just like Team Rocket, like one of the greatest villains of anime, right?
Well, they're really bad at what they do, but yeah,
Yeah,
greatest,
Yeah,
but
one of
most
the worst villains.
iconic.
recognizable.
One of the most iconic villains of anime
That's a
is
better term, I
Team
guess.
Rocket. And
Team Rocket's up there with the freaking Akatsuki, dude.
yeah, and like
Yeah,
Jesse
even
and
more.
James, right? Like that makes sense.
Meowth, that's
But
right.
does Kojiro and Musashi make sense? No.
Who the fuck are you?
Well, hang on. I guess it all depends too on what region you started watching in. You know,
It's
you
not
started
it's not the
watching the
it's not
Japanese
Jesse and
version.
James, that's for sure. So it's wrong.
You can't be telling them that they're wrong if that's how they watched it from the
Yeah,
beginning,
you
Tyler.
you watch this shit in French? Dumb. Japanese? Stupid.
Look, how else are we gonna catch them all? You know,
We're gonna
like
buy them all. We're not
we
gonna
gotta
catch them
catch
all. We're gonna
'em
buy them
all,
all.
Pokemon. You know,
um,
one
but
of
no.
the
So this was.
greatest openings in history too. Like, come on now.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, we'll get into that one too. This was done by Studio OLM. It has been them the entire time. They are literally in a competition with Toei over who can produce the longest running anime with One
Is
Piece.
was was Pokemon OLM start
Yep,
like
from the
did that
very
make
beginning.
them make their company basically?
I don't know if it
Um,
made their company, but like it definitely carried their company.
yeah, it was a cash cow for years.
Um, I mean, you gotta keep in mind too, it debuted in '97, right? So anime wasn't like super popular. Yeah, I guess you could say it technically made their company, but like
Yeah, I'm
it's
looking at
not.
the things that came before Pokemon from OLM, and we got like Yuraku Countdown, Two Mix, Wild Reflection, Power Dolls, Gunsmith Cats, Stainless Night. Like it
Who?
has like 10 different shows before Pokemon, and only one of them is a 7. No, two of them is a 7. Everything else is like a 5 and a 4 and a 6 on Mal.
Let's see.
So
Yeah.
We got Great Value Sailor Moon. We got Magical Girls. We got weird puffball guys. Naked women hugging. Power dolls. I don't know what Power dolls is.
it looks
Um,
like a mecha.
bikini chicks and Pokemon. Yeah. All right. We're up to speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, at the end of the day, though, right? Like to be doing an anime this long and to have it this successful as well. It's not anime only, right? There is actually a manga to this, which we'll cover in just a little bit. But this is ran from 97 to 2023. kind of. The kind of part is because Ash's story is done. There is a new Pokemon series that is taking over that has new protagonists, two of them. They have two new starter Pokemon, so Pikachu is not actually involved in it anymore. Um, at the same time, it is still Pokemon.
Well, Pikachu and Charizard are still very involved in it. They just happen to have a different trainer, and they're a different Pikachu and Charizard.
Yes.
It's not the
Um,
same Pika, you know.
true. That being said, though, too, the franchise actually debuted an entire year before. Um, back in February 27th of 1996, we actually had the games drop. And that was the first start of Pokemon. From there, they have actually expanded into a lot of different media. Um, the the anime, and I know that a lot of parents wish that this was actually true for the date. The anime dropped on April 1st. And I remember actually my parents thinking that it was an April Fool's joke. And then it came on again the next week and they were like, this isn't a joke. They were legit terrified.
You know what was
And
the joke? The
Hmm.
fucking plot.
I mean, yeah. But let's be honest, right? When you've made $150 billion, that's billion with a B, boys.
I say that's
Pokemon's made
probably
about
like
150 billion.
I say that's also like a very loose estimate too. I say that they probably w- I say they probably would have made more, but there's probably like a lot of um like fake things out there. You know what I mean? That's stealing money from them. If
Well,
you catch
no,
my drift.
I'll put it this way. This
Don't
is
talk shit about Pal
also
World, first off. Um, no,
this
I would say that's a pretty good estimate right there. I mean,
this would also take into account expenses. And
and
Uh,
that's a
revenue.
very important thing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever they're doing right. The plot can be absolute shit. We're not there for that. We're there to watch Pikachu, shock Ash. We're there to watch Charizard blow fire in his face. We're there to watch the Squirtle Squad and Wartortle put on the sunglasses.
I mean, to be fair though, like Pokemon, like even though the story wasn't like the greatest, it still has like a lot of emotional moments. I still remember like a lot of emotional moments, and I still remember like crying over those moments.
I know exactly which moment you're talking about, and it's in the first movie where Ash jumps in the way of Mewtwo and Mew's attack, and then
Yeah, I
turns
mean,
to stone, and it's just Pikachu and be like Pika, Pika, Pika,
All
Pika,
right, so you
Pika,
need to stop right now. All right,
and then
you're
it's like
bringing in emotions.
it's the two Pikachus slapping each other in the face, and it's
Dan,
heartbreaking.
stop,
But then if
stop.
you go back to the short they had before the movie with Pokemon Vacation, that shit was gas. Vacation by
Oh
Vitamin
god.
C is one of the biggest bangers of our childhood, hands down.
and
I wholeheartedly agree. I remember just constantly watching Vacations over and over again before I'd even
Vacation's
get to
all
the
I
movie.
wanna be. Skibidi-bidi, where the sun is free.
there's
Banger.
also the Charmander, when Charmander got introduced, I still remember that shit.
That shit was sad. What a
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
Having
Yeah.
to cover up his tail so that way the fire wouldn't go out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was still sad. That was sad as hell. Like there's like a lot of moments like that. It's just so sad. And like I don't know, like I'm sure I cried like a baby back then. If I get teary eyed now, when I watch it, so and it's one of those things where, um, whenever like I have kids over that are like old enough to watch things like that or whatever, I literally turn Pokemon on because I'm just like, you can't go wrong with that. Like it's Pokemon, you know?
You
Like
need to
here,
cry.
watch
We both need to
Pikachu.
cry.
Yeah, watch Pikachu do Pikachu shit. So
I mean, Nam wasn't on the podcast yet, but we did go watch the culmination of Ash's journey
yeah.
during the Coronation Cup series when he fought Leon. And if so, we watched it subbed because that was all that was available at the time.
We had to sell the seizures to watch that.
Yeah,
So,
we had to do some digging. But
yeah.
so if you go watch it dubbed, in that scene they play the original Pokemon theme song, and it is
Deep.
like it like takes over your soul watching this happen because it's like the culmination of a friend that you've had for 25 years finally becoming the champion that he should be, even though he's kind of a
So
shitty Pokemon trainer.
the newest season is like the only one that I haven't actually watched yet. Well, I should say the last season of Ash's Journey is like the only one that I haven't actually watched yet. That was what, Journeys, right?
Yeah,
The one
Journeys
on
is
Netflix,
great.
I think it was.
Yeah, the animation's a little clunky, but Journeys was
No,
awesome.
it wasn't bad. I didn't mind the animation for
It's just
it.
different.
Yeah, for sure. But speaking about that, there's been a lot of different media that it's crossed into, right? So obviously there is the video games. They release pretty much semi-annually at this point. Then that's not including the spin-offs like Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Legends, even like the mobile games like Pokemon Go, um, Pokemon Sleep, the TCG Pocket game. Usually get about 1 to 2 movies per new season. So whenever they do a new series, they take over to a new location. They usually highlight a legendary within those movies, and you'll get 1 to 2 of those. So probably roughly every couple of years. Um, Manga spin-offs, shorts, all sorts of stuff. I mean, if it's a media, Pokemon will enter it.
Oh yeah.
And
And
that
it'd be
just
stupid
further
not to, you know what I mean?
exactly, because it just further goes into proving what they can push. Back then, right? They had plushies, they had cards, they had video games, they had toys, they had merch, right?
I
And
owned
let's be
all of the
honest,
above.
yeah, I own the plushies, I own the cards, I own the video games, toys, the merch, all of it. Who
I
didn't
like
have a giant Pikachu that was like, 3 feet tall and you would be able to sleep with it and whatnot? And it had like a tail that you could fucking
bro, like
wiggle back and forth.
I don't think you understand how much of an impact Pokemon had in my life. That game taught me to read. Like this game came out when I was 3, I think maybe 3 or 4. I don't based on the date. Yeah, I was 3. And I like could read flamethrower before I could read the dog peed on the fire hydrant. Like I'd be like
Nice.
flamethrower, thunder shock, all that shit. Like it taught me to read. And got a jump start on my learning. I became really smart because of Pokemon.
You knew how to battle Pokemon at an early age, just like Ash.
Dude, I used to just teach Pokemon every move they could learn, and then I'd get pissed off when I taught my fucking Charizard like a move that didn't do any damage. And I was like, what the hell is this? Why did I do that? But I couldn't read anything. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, like Drain or something like that.
I'd be like, yeah, I learned focus energy, and focus energy didn't do anything in the first generation. It literally was a broken move. It didn't work.
Yeah, no, I remember a lot of that too, and just sitting there like you're going on a car ride and stuff like that, and you're trying to catch the light from the poles as you're driving home, just to be able to continue playing and stuff like that, or having to like frantically try and like finish a battle and save so that way your batteries wouldn't die on you mid battle. Lose like
I
an
mean,
hour of progress because you were an idiot and didn't save yet.
I remember the first time I ever beat the Pokemon League was on the toilet. That's a highlight of my life. I was on that shit for like 30 minutes trying to fight Gary.
It
Our
gets
boy.
intense like that.
Yeah,
It
man.
did.
Thank
Bro.
God we
And
had two
which
bathrooms.
which Pokemon was it though? Was it blue, red and blue, or was it yellow?
Oh, I had blue,
Okay.
and then I got yellow.
Because if you remember, yellow actually made it more difficult. They like increased the level of all the Pokemon by like 7 to 10 levels. Like it was crazy.
That's because you started out with Pikachu, right? Pikachu
Well,
was just
that
so
No, I
OP.
mean Pikachu wasn't OP. Its stats were
he,
trash.
yeah, he was
Just followed you
situational at
around.
best.
No, the reason Pokemon Yellow they did that is because you could get Blastoise, Charmander, and Venusaur on one squad without trading.
Yep. You could find all the starters out in the wild. And that is broken.
Oh, dude, you had to get them from trainers. Like, you had to go find that asshole who left his Charmander outside and beat the shit out of him and take him.
He
That's my
was
head
easy
canon.
to
That's my head
find.
canon.
No,
I mean,
he
that's
was easy to
that's the
find though.
correct. That's the correct headcanon, by the way.
Fucking
Uh,
catch
Yep.
these sands, bro.
Well, that's the thing. You get the Squirtle from an Officer Jenny.
In Vermilion City.
So yeah, I mean they did play very, very closely into the anime and stuff like that. Or rather the anime played closely with the video game. And
Uh,
really that's where they're telling their stories.
I think Yellow played into the anime because the anime had been going on at that point.
Yeah.
But
And they
they
wanted
they
to really capitalize on the Pikachu craze.
they wanted to make their money. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
they got
Well,
me, so that
fun
was my
fact.
favorite Pokemon game. So
And here's a fun fact if you guys didn't know. Pikachu was not originally meant to be the mascot. It was
Clefairy.
actually Clefairy.
okay.
So all the manga that they published, right? It actually started a character named Red. And Red was very, very deadly. So that's actually why like they started with the first Red, Blue, Green games. Green was actually
Japan only.
the Japan only version instead of blue. We over here in the US got red and blue. Um, but each of the trainers was just red, blue, and green in the manga. And we followed Red around. But he had a Clefairy, and after doing a lot of market testing, turns out Pikachu was way more popular. So Ash got Pikachu instead.
There you go. I mean, I loved Pikachu. Like I said, Yellow was literally my favorite game, Pokemon game or whatever as a kid. Uh and I still got it. I still got a freaking copy somewhere. I don't know where it's at, but it's somewhere with all my other Pokemon shit from my childhood days. My sister and I, we used to like every year, like since Pokemon started coming out back in the day, one of us would literally get
Oh,
one.
yes.
Yeah,
It's
Dad's got it.
gold.
I got gold,
Pokemon
baby.
Oh,
Gold.
oh. Well, we would literally get so back in the day, they don't do it like this anymore, but they used to release two different versions of a Pokemon game at the same time, right? Except for like Yellow, of course.
Well,
And my
what they would
sister,
do is
huh?
they'd release two, and then they'd release a third with some bonus stuff that made your parents go spend another like $40.
Yeah. Well, me and my sister, we would always literally get one of us would get one of them, and the other would get the other one. And it was perfect because you couldn't have some Pokemon unless you traded with the other uh the other game or whatever, and we always had that. Even in the beginning when we didn't actually have like two console like handheld, consoles or whatever, uh we were still able to play our games and stuff. So I think like the Game Boy Advance SP was the first time we both had our separate consoles or handheld Game Boys. So it was pretty cool.
Okay.
I
Oh yeah.
Some of my earliest childhood memories is literally me opening Christmas presents and seeing Pokemon games in those presents. And I can't remember anything else. I mean, that was just highlights of my childhood days. So Pokemon was a big thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Opening up
Yeah.
anything Pokemon, really.
We
yeah,
did, we did the same thing. I had blue, my sister had red, I got gold, she got silver. I think I got sapphire, she got ruby. Like, yeah.
yeah. I think since I was like the oldest, I always got to choose which one I got.
Lucky you. I just got
Nice.
handed what my sister didn't want.
Yeah, so I guess it was the
Hey,
opposite for
you
us.
didn't get
So
you didn't get some bad ones though, right? You got some
There's
good
no bad
ones.
Pokemon game.
yeah, there's literally
Um,
none.
all right, so while we're on the topic of the games though, favorite generation.
Whatever the old school first gen, I guess, would be called. Like the red,
First gen?
First gen.
yellow, blue, like all that. I mean, maybe it's nostalgia talking, but like those are my favorite times. Uh, so
Okay.
Okay. My favorite was Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Second gen.
Yeah, but the remakes because they added way more shit.
It's still second gen. All
Yeah.
right. It's
But
still second gen.
that's not my favorite gen of Pokemon though. I think my favorite gen of Pokemon would be Gen 1, but the Gen 2 games were awesome because you had to go get 16 badges and fight Red at the end. And then I think
Yep.
like best story game was Platinum,
Okay.
which is 4th gen.
Gen 3 was my favorite.
You really cared about volcanoes and raining?
Blaziken.
Ah, dude,
it
Yep.
seems like the last. So I literally had every Pokemon game up until Heart Gold and Soul Silver was my last Pokemon game that I bought like on release, you know what I mean? I didn't get Black and White. So it says 2009 was when Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, so that was like when I was 16, I think it was. Does that sound right?
yeah, I can't talk. I
Sure.
I buy them all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last one that I bought after that was, I guess, Sword and Shield, and I didn't buy Arceus. I borrowed my buddy. I borrowed it from one of my buddies. I still actually got it. I haven't
Nice.
ever given it back. So for the
Such a
Switch.
such a great game, honestly.
Yeah, those
I'm
ones are
so I'm
fun.
so hyped for the new one.
One of my funniest memories from college, speaking of like buying things on release, is me and Krieger literally skipped a party to not get drunk so we could drive to Walmart at midnight and go pick up fucking Sun and Moon
It's freaking
in college.
priorities, bro. You know.
Hell yeah. No, that's the way to do it. No, last Pokemon game I bought was Pokemon Violet on November 18th, 2022.
Yes.
That's
This is the
release
newest
date.
one, and that's its release date.
I got
Oh.
them
What do you
both.
want from me, Tyler?
I got them both over there, man. I buy them all. I don't give a shit.
So, like, is the new games like that, Scarlet and Violet and stuff like that, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, are they like just as good as the old stuff, or like nah? Or
Um,
do they get more complicated? Because like I haven't like been in the Pokemon fandom, I guess, since like I said, since I was like 16. So
no, I mean they're definitely not harder. They do way too much hand holding in the beginning, which is brutal. But I
Yep.
mean, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, or vice versa, whatever the hell they were just remakes of Diamond and Pearl in like a chibi art style. So
Okay.
I
I
was
I mean,
know.
playing one of those.
technically, it did tie into Pokemon Legends Arceus because there is a quest later on in Arceus that you get, and there's zero clues to it. But the clue is in the remakes. You go to a library in a town that's actually where it's supposed to be in Arceus, and you read a book in the library, and it tells you about this Pokemon that you can get through this like convoluted method. And then if you do that in Legends Arceus, you get it. You get that
Okay.
Pokemon that you need for the quest. So like there is a couple additional things that they add in, but it's very, very minor, and you're never really gonna like get to encounter it like that.
Huh.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I
Yep.
stopped playing Brilliant Diamond because I was doing a Nuzlocke run and my Grotle died, and I was like, "Well, fuck this! I'm not playing without my starter." I got pissed off as shit because I got like a critical hit that should not have killed me, and I was like, "God damn it! I got to start all over again now."
This is bullshit.
um, one thing I do remember, like I cannot ever forget it, was the freaking Snorlax, bro. Like
Oh
you don't
yeah.
understand. The Snorlax had me stuck for like I don't even know how long. I was literally hardcore stuck because I couldn't make it past the Snorlax in whatever game that was.
Homie couldn't find the Pokeflute.
I vividly remember like just hating that freaking Snorlax in the damn road because like I just couldn't do anything about it. I back then, uh I guess I was impatient. I don't know. But I just remember that. It's one moment I always remember from playing Pokemon. So
That's awesome. My one of my like vivid memories of my childhood was my cousin had like a level 126 Snorlax, and I had no idea how he did it. And he wouldn't tell me, and it turns out that he did the missing no glitch and caught a level 126 Snorlax.
oh, okay. With a master ball,
Nice.
I assume.
Well, yeah, because you get 99 of them every time you do it. We're all fucking cheaters back in the day, dude.
So
It was
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
it
freaking had
was
the
so
Game
broken
Shark,
too.
right?
Oh
Who
yeah.
No,
who didn't
I
have the
mean,
Game Shark back
You
in the
didn't need the
day?
Game Shark for
you
missing
didn't
no,
need it.
dude.
Well, I'm just saying, like, who didn't have a Game Shark back in the day doing some crazy shit like that, you
Dude,
know?
I had a whole team of shinies in my silver game. I didn't even know what
Of
shinies
course.
were, but I was like, "What's the shiny code?" And I caught a bunch like these things are cool. They make shiny little pixels.
Ah, shit.
That's awesome. So nostalgia factor, right? That's obviously something that's going to be brought up whenever you're talking about these shows. And let's be honest, right?
We
You
just talked
all
about
know, you all know the Pokemon theme by heart.
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon,
yeah.
it's you and me.
It's even like the intermissions or whatever, like, who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu.
It's
Like
always Pikachu.
It's fucking Pikachu. The guy with his bowl of cereal, that meme.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, the nostalgia is always going to be there. I mean, you can see it in the just like we literally been talking about it for
45 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's got a hold on, us still, even today. I mean, we're just
Luckily the
blowing money
other
left and right on Pokemon shit. So,
yeah, and luckily the other two shows haven't had as well of staying power because that'll
yeah.
make the rest of this episode go a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Nah.
Um,
We're gonna be talking about mine for a long time.
I don't know about that. We got some stuff we can talk about it, but no. Basically though, this thing will never end. As long as they're producing games, they're gonna produce anime.
It's a
Ash
cat.
Ketchum's exactly, and now that Ash Ketchup is no longer dipping his fries, uh, it's time to move on though to new things, and it's exciting though for the franchise. I mean, yeah, we've gotten to watch him stay 10 years old for 25 years, lucky fucking bastard.
Dude,
No
he's a
bills.
vampire.
You can't convince me otherwise.
How long have you been
Um,
10? A long time.
I remember one of our first episodes. We was literally talking about crackpot theories or whatever, and we had like I think we had like two Pokemon theories, and one of them was like Ash was in a coma or whatever, and then or I think it was the same one actually. Ash was in a coma, and like or something about like all the adults except for Professor Oak is dead or something like that.
Yeah, there's like
Or the
no
men. The
there's no
men.
old men besides Lieutenant Surge and Fat Fisherman.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's always a fun time just talking about Pokemon because anything's possible pretty much. So
Definitely. Well, awesome. Before we go on for another 3 hours about Pokemon, should we get on to our next
yes,
topic,
yes.
our
No,
next
I'm
show?
done. I'm done. We got to move on.
which one are we doing next?
And you want to go? You want me to go?
It doesn't you want me to flip a coin?
I'm gonna go with the heart of the cards on this one, and I'm taking it.
Oh, you taking it? You doing
Oh,
it?
oh, he got you.
Alrighty.
Based on that, you should know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is an anime franchise as well as a trading card game that has been around for a long, long time. It's based on a manga by Takahashi, and it revolves around dueling using magical cards and often incorporates themes of friendship, strategy, and battles against dark forces. There's like one, two, three, four, five. There's like 7, 8 Yu-Gi-Oh series, so we're not going to dive into all of them, but we are definitely going to dive into Duel Monsters. Uh, First animation studio, this is done by Gallop through 2020, and now it's being done by Studio Bridge. And this card game dropped in Japan in 1999 and the US in 2002. So you guys all watch Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah. The OG is the best, in my opinion, but Yu-Gi-Oh GX is super underrated.
GX
I'm
went hard. I really appreciated what they brought with GX and the hero cards.
It got super weird at the end, though.
It it turned basically into like a shonen at that point, and I wasn't really cool with it.
Nah, that was fun. I was more talking about the dude like sharing the body with some like demon monster,
That's
and
what
it
I'm
got real weird. It
saying.
got real weird.
That's what I'm saying. That's the part that got
Naruto.
weird. Everything else, fine.
Bro.
Once it
It
got
turned into
to
Naruto.
her, once it got to like the card coming alive, though, that was like, all right, that's a little much.
Was it like Uabel? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Weird.
Yubel.
Ubel, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like so Pokemon, I watched like probably all the episodes, maybe not in like episodic order, But Yu-Gi-Oh is one of those things where I didn't watch all of them. I just watched them when they came on or whatever. So it was always
Wasn't
like
it like right after Pokemon every Saturday morning?
yeah, probably, but the thing is like I never did like watch it all the way through like I would Pokemon because like there's so many moments of Pokemon that I know about, where Yu-Gi-Oh on the other hand, I watched it and I know about some things, but it's one of those things where I didn't watch it enough, so I don't really know like the plot line, and like characters
Well,
outside of like obviously Yugi and like some of the main ones, like I don't know who the villains are, like it wasn't I didn't go that deep into it like I did Pokemon. Pokemon was definitely
Dude,
like my number one, you know what I
we
mean?
so
we've
Back
had a
then.
Yu-Gi-Oh monster or a villain even show up in SLF and throw down Toon World.
true.
What?
GB Lakigan was Toon World, dude.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
okay.
so there's actually a really funny reason behind this, right? So Yu-Gi-Oh actually had a plot. Pokemon had the exact same thing happen every episode. So
Yeah.
even if you mix 6 of them, you could remember what you did in the game, know what was going on. You can know who the gym leader was, and you knew that Team Rocket was going to show up. and they were gonna
To
blast off
blast
again.
off again.
Every
Connect all the
episode.
dots.
I say I definitely say Yu-Gi-Oh was definitely like a darker show.
Oh,
Uh,
you don't even know Dark yet.
Tyler,
But
go read the manga first, and then
Yeah.
let's have this conversation.
so
I
like I wanted to like for real though like I'd watch Pokemon as an adult, you know. I'd went back and watched some of the like Indigo League and stuff like that, you know. Uh but I'd always wanted to go back and watch some of the Yu-Gi-Oh early Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, and I just never have done it yet. Because I always found that it was very much more interesting and than like early Pokemon was, you know what I mean? So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it had a plot, so that really helped.
well that and like whereas Pokemon, even though if you collect the cards, it was not as fun to battle the Pokemon, you know, IRL. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh though, Yu-Gi-Oh was super fun. It was super fun to play duel and you know, fight other people with your cards. Like it was two different like even though Pokemon was so much more fun overall for me, Yu-Gi-Oh was so much more fun to play with other people.
Yeah.
So,
I can agree with that. The Yu-Gi-Oh card game was sick. Did you play
yeah.
the correct way or did you play the anime way? That's what I need to know.
Well, you're gonna have to
Correct way.
explain the differences.
Correct way over here.
Okay. I played the anime way where we had 2,000 life points and you couldn't do a direct attacks and you didn't have to do summons or any of that because I learned how to play from the show. And then I actually got a Yu-Gi-Oh video game and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Why can't I summon my blue eyes white dragon?
Right away. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I played, I guess. I just played however we played, I guess. Is
I
the
love
best
that.
way to
So
put it.
yeah, it was like up to 4 stars you could play. 5 to 7 stars required one
5 and
sacrifice.
6 were 1, 7 plus were 2.
Yep. So you had to actually sacrifice monsters to play those bigger monsters, as opposed to just throwing out whatever.
I don't think we did that. So
Yeah,
whatever way they didn't
you were
do
playing the
that.
anime way.
You played the
Yeah,
anime way.
whatever way they didn't do that.
I was if you guys haven't caught on by now, right? I've been on the podcast for what, half a year now. If you haven't caught on now, I'm a big video game junkie. I played a lot of video games, including with Yu-Gi-Oh! So I actually did learn the correct way of doing it
Did you
from the
ever
beginning.
did you ever play Forbidden Memories on the PlayStation 1?
I believe so.
That was the best Yu-Gi-Oh game because for some reason you had 4,000 life points. Don't tell me where that number came from. And you could randomly just click cards and try and fuse them and summon like these insane monsters. You could be like twin-headed or you could be like Thunder Dragon, and smash the cards and they would polymerization
Yep.
whatever that would be. And you get a twin-headed fucking Thunder Dragon with 2,800 attack points and just shit on people. And then you'd go fight Kaiba and it'd be like bam, 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 5-headed ultimate dragon. And you're like, what the fuck? That's not even the blue eyes. What is this thing? You just shit on you.
The 4,000 life points though is from the manga
Okay.
and later on in the anime. Yeah, after they get to the battle city and then they get like
Oh,
the
that's
dual
true. Yeah, they
discs.
go to 4,000. But this game came out on the PlayStation 1 before
Yeah.
that arc was even there. Like, it just made no sense when you played it as a kid.
Bro. No,
Well,
I'm
I could
just
see them too trying to like prolong the game a little bit longer just because again, like 2,000 life points would be really short, especially if you're just able to polymerize without having the polymerized card. Because I do remember now being able to do that. Like, oh, do these cards fuse? No? Fuck.
Yeah, and then you're like, shit, you can't summon anything, and you're just shit out of luck.
Yeah. And then you like start writing down the combos of what actually fuses into
Yes,
what, and
dude.
you remember it.
If I have the game box somewhere, and if you open it up, there's like my like third grade scribbles on how to fuse monsters on a piece of paper in that box.
Nice. I remember too, because they featured it in what is it? Dungeon Monsters, I think it was, or Duel Monsters, Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Fuck yeah, dude.
They had a Game Boy Advance game for that. That was actually pretty fun too. You actually got to like pick what dice you had, and then you had to roll it, and then try and summon them and take down the people.
Yeah, it was basically a board game. It wasn't even like a card game. It was sick.
Yeah, but no, honestly, like a lot of the GBA titles that they had too, just absolute bangers.
Oh yeah, I randomly
Because there
have
was,
one on my phone that I play when I'm on airplanes.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
And
I spent like most of my childhood trying to find trying to actually obtain a Yu-Gi-Oh game because I was just so interested in playing Yu-Gi-Oh without having to find someone to play with. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah, no, and then the games are always fun too because they were always challenging.
yeah.
I mean, that's the best thing about card games, realistically, is that there's always that random chance, and this is what Yu-Gi-Oh excelled at doing, was showing the card game itself. Pokemon wasn't really trying to sell the cards, but Yu-Gi-Oh really sold the cards.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh to this date has sold over 35 billion cards, which is a
That's
crazy fucking number.
a lot.
Very
Um,
impressive.
I want to go back to the anime quick because Kaiba is one of the coldest anime characters of all time. Like, there's a scene where he's dueling Yami Merrick, I think, or Yami Bakuga, the B guy,
Yeah,
Bakuga, yeah,
Bakugo, I think it was.
Bakugo.
Uh,
Yeah, there we go.
I'll
But
look it
he's
up.
doing him
Bakura.
and
Bakura, yeah.
Bakura. There we go. I'm thinking Bakugo, another toy franchise that had an anime. But like he like used his shadow game powers to like bring Yugi's friends into the duel. And he's like, "What? You're going to attack your friends?" And he just goes, I lead a major corporation. I have to ruin people's lives every day." And I'm like, "Damn, bro, you're fucking cold." He goes to buy a car and he just writes Joey Wheeler's net worth on it on the check and hands to the guy and drives away with a Lambo. I was cold, dude. And
He is, yeah.
Yami Yugi is a fucking cheater. I'm just gonna say that now.
I don't know if I would go that far,
No,
but at the
no,
same
he
time,
makes the rules,
he's got some pretty thick plot armor, yes.
bro. He
I mean,
makes the
technically,
fucking
he
rules.
did make the rules. He
Fair.
technically did.
Fair, but he makes them on the fly.
Without saying anything, he's allowed to, okay? We can't spoil it why, but well, can we should we spoil it for Tyler?
This is a
Yeah,
freaking
it came
how
out
many?
in 2000, dude. We're fine. It's like when he's fighting Joey and Joey uses the time wizard dragon combo and has like the 2,000-year-old dragon. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you didn't realize that your time wizard would turn my dark magician into the dark sage, which isn't a real card at the time, and now I have more attack points than you." It's fucking bullshit, and it's hilarious.
Yes. However, when you're the fucking pharaoh, you can kind of make your own rules about the game that you literally invented. So, that's a spoiler, by the way. Inside the Millennium Puzzle, it's the pharaoh who actually
Wow.
created Duel Monsters.
Wow. Holy cow, we're spoiling Yu-Gi-Oh now, guys. Shit.
No, the final season was really cool though. I did enjoy how they actually
That shit was sad, dude.
dived into it.
Yeah, Yugi had to fight the Pharaoh. That shit was sick.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch all that, unfortunately. Which I know what, obviously I know what the Pharaoh is. I had the uh what the pieces to it or whatever.
You had the puzzle?
No, the what?
Exodia?
Yeah, Exodia. Yeah,
Okay. That's not what we're
yeah.
talking about at all, but I like it.
Yeah, he's got nothing to do with that.
I thought it was the same thing. Anyways, it is the same thing basically.
Did some shithead kid who loved bucks throw your fucking cards off a yacht?
I you know I had this
He's
one
about to say
time.
yes.
No, but for real. I had a freaking blue eyes white dragon. It was in great shape, by the way, and we was like
Did
I'd
somebody
always
fucking Kaiba and rip it up?
no. So I always took a deck to school. Like in high school, like early high school days. Like
Keep that
we
thing
brought
on
High
decks
them.
to
school?
school. Yeah,
You were strapped to Yu-Gi-Oh cards in high school?
early high school. Yes,
Bro,
we li-
how old are you? This came out in 2000.
Dude,
we
you never know when you gotta throw down. All right.
Listen, I didn't I got into Yu-Gi-Oh, like, collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like,
Oh.
later on in my, childhood,
Bro, that
but
card game the card game has gotten so confusing now. There's like
oh,
synchro
yeah.
monsters, and I go duel people in like the Duel Links game, and I get shit on. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, dude. Where's like
I
this isn't Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
Yeah, no thanks.
I've tried playing it and I'm just like I get so far and I'm like I can't. I can't. What is even going on here? Like you can transfer to all the different dimensions. I stay in Duel Monsters and GX. I
Yeah,
can't do 5Ds. I can't do Zexal.
I
What is
couldn't
even sevens? What
I
is
don't know.
sevens? Is it only monsters with sevens in it?
I only watched up to 5Ds, and 5Ds was fucking sick, by the way.
okay.
It was Yu-Gi-Oh battles on motorcycles.
I
Of
saw
course.
that. I don't know why. I just couldn't get into it myself.
Bro, it was sick. It was fuck. I went on a Yu-Gi-Oh bender during COVID and just like watched like through 5Ds, just like hanging on my couch. And I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I I didn't even know, like, Yu-Gi-Oh kept on going, honestly,
It's still going, dude.
yeah, I didn't know that, which, like, I know it's still a thing nowadays. I don't think it's as big as a thing as it was back then, though. Do you think?
No, I wouldn't say it's as big, but it has its like cult following.
Yeah. And like I still got my Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever somewhere too. Like I said, I literally brought decks to school. I had like a couple different decks, and I would bring decks to school, and we would literally duel each other at lunch and stuff like that. It was pretty fun times, and like uh like I was saying before, they one time a teacher, I don't know, it was a substitute teacher, and we was done with everything. Class was almost over. We was just chilling. Everybody was chilling, and we didn't have nothing to do. And so I was dueling with somebody or whatever, or I just got done dueling, and I was showing someone my Blue Eyes White Dragon card because like it was super rare to have back then. And the substitute teacher freaking confiscated my card and stuff, and instead of like just putting it up or whatever, they like crumpled it up. Like they literally wadded it up,
Damn, bro.
and it like when I got my card back, it was like creases and like it literally like a piece of paper wadded up in a ball. I'm like, bro, you just ruined like my best card. What are you doing? Like I almost cried that day because of that shit. It was literally my best card.
That's a
I still
damn
don't.
shame.
I still can't forget that. So
No, just kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea though, like how big the following of Yu-Gi-Oh still is. Tuesday went to a card shop, played Magic. Um, got my ass handed to me, but while we were there, there was like I don't know, 16 people there to play Magic. There was at least like 8 people playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
oh
Fuck
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, just like off on the side. Like they still have tournaments. A lot of local card shops, they still have sit downs, right? You go
Yeah.
there, you can either just sit down and play casually, you can do tournaments. Like there's still a pretty big following for it with everything that's going on. I mean, a lot of them still play older style, but some of them even play the new style.
That's
I
sick,
wanna
dude.
I wanna know. Since we're talking about cards and all that stuff. Did y'all have Like Nom made the gesture earlier for the people that's listening. Looked like he kind of dabbing,
The dual
for,
disc?
yeah. And
No, I didn't have. My
for
buddy
kids
had
that
one.
don't know, they used to make these things that you put on your arms, like in the anime. I don't know. Dan just said the
Yeah,
name of
yeah.
it. I don't know what it's called.
The dual disc, yeah. So
Yeah.
it sat on the wrist, and then what it did was it popped out, and it had like a bunch of slots on the inside for where you could put your cards, and it had like a tracker for your life total and stuff.
Yeah, I
And
had one
yeah,
of those. So I'm just curious if y'all had one of those.
No, I never had one.
Okay.
I used one, but I never had one.
Okay. It was pretty cool. Like mine wasn't like I guess fancy. You said it like popped out or whatever. Mine stayed the same the whole time. So you just like put it on your
Well,
arm or
the
whatever.
toy
Yeah.
was always out. In the anime, it actually popped
Oh yeah,
out,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it was super advanced technology by Seto Kaiba.
And
Kaiba
I
Like
Corpse.
also had the like the mat or whatever. I don't know if that's the correct word for it. It's like it wasn't like a mat, it was like a
Yeah, you would
paper
get those
thing.
in the starter decks. They would come with the paper that like would tell you where you could play your cards and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's like the battlefield or whatever.
here's your
Yeah.
deck, here's your
So
in play,
I would
here's your trap
literally, yeah,
cards.
I would literally carry around one of those with me with my deck,
You
bro.
fucking nerd. Tyler, I don't want to ruin your dreams, but your prize card, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, is worth $5. So
Back then, though, what was
no,
it
that
worth?
Back then, it was actually worth less.
that's like
Shiny. It was
yeah, it's
holographic.
this. It comes in the Kaiba starter deck that everybody owned.
Not back then. No,
Yeah,
literally, I
no,
was the only one.
I
I
had
was
one
the
when
only one in my school that owned one.
your
Tyler,
school had a bunch of chumps.
Well,
I
it was
had two.
Kentucky. It was backwoods
I had three.
Kentucky.
I
I
had
had
I had
three Blue Eyes, dude.
I had two blue eyes in my deck.
I
It
remember.
wasn't.
I also remember one of my somebody from my school or whatever. They traded my sister some uh what I thought was fake Zodiac cards or whatever, and it was just like the Japanese version of them. I thought
Bro,
it was fake.
the fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Did you guys ever see them? They were so horrendously bad. They were hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually had a couple of them. I didn't get swindled out of it, but I actually ended up getting a couple of them.
So
They were
bad.
so bad. No, Tyler, to give you an idea, like cards from say Magic, you can find one right now on a website. It's about $4,000, right? And that was a card that was printed back in like early 2000s. Look
I
at
wonder if
Pokemon
any of
decks, and I
my cards
guarantee.
are worth big money.
Dude, the new Pokemon cards are crazy.
Oh yeah. Do Umbreon VMAX alternate art secret, right?
I don't.
$1,100.
Is that the Moonbryon or the new one?
Moonbreon. Nope, Moonbreon.
That's
Don't
gonna be
worry.
PSA 10, right?
No, that's just
Oh, nobody's buying
generic
those.
card, run of the mill.
Those sell like $2,000.
Oh yeah, yeah. PSA 10 does. No, so the 1100 one is probably like a lower condition one. But yeah, no, you'll find a lot of those that are like pretty high up there. As far as Yu-Gi-Oh goes, I mean, I found one that's like over $2,000. Everything else 500 and less.
I mean, I'm
Hmm.
looking at a Blue Eyes that's $3,750.
That was probably mine.
No, this one was from a tournament. Like you had to win the tournament to get it.
I mean, even
Yeah.
then too, look at like some of the other cards. The One Ring, for instance, from Magic's Lord of the Rings set.
Oh,
Two
that's cool
point
for
five million dollars.
Post Malone's got it.
You ain't getting 2.5 million for your Blue Eyes, no matter how rare it is, Tyler. I'm sorry.
It's made out of gold.
Bro, and the crazy thing is I literally still have that freaking card. It just all crinkled up.
He's left it crinkled too.
No, I didn't leave it crinkled. I kept it in my deck too. So every time I see a crinkle card, I knew it was coming. I was like,
Bro,
yeah,
that's
it's blue
cheating.
eyes white
That's
dragon
fucking
time.
cheating.
It
I can't
really
help
is.
it. I'm not gonna take my best card out of my deck because some kind of bullshit teacher. So
Bro, you got to get better cards. Blue eyes mid. Okay, let's
Build
get
you a
off
hero
the
deck.
cards. Let's get off the cards. I want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. So it was animated by Toei. This is the
Mm.
beginning of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga that we didn't get in America because it was so fucking dark. Basically, like Yugi, this is the story of Yugi like meeting the Pharaoh for the first time, and he builds the puzzle. Joey and Tristan are bullies, like just shitting on Yugi. And once he finishes the puzzle, Yami Yugi just wants to fucking ruin people's days. And he puts bullies through like psychological torment and literally fucks with their mind with the shadow games or the game of darkness, as they call it. And like kids were fucking dying in this shit. That's why they didn't release it in America.
Literally dying.
We should go watch it for the podcast.
I
I'd be
mean,
down.
you know, it would probably be a fun time because like this, we remember Yu-Gi-Oh! We remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Being dark, you know, darker than like Pokemon or whatever. But we don't remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Being like that dark where people are literally dying, or at least I don't. So, but that would be a fun comparison. Or so.
I mean, yeah,
It's
just to
crazy.
see. Yeah, just to see the stark difference, really.
You think it's on Crunchyroll?
No,
God no.
no.
Is it not out in the US still?
There's a fan dub on YouTube.
Oh, well, that's good enough. So it's easy to find. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe we should do that.
ridiculously dark,
I
dude.
don't.
Yami looks like a psycho, or Yami Yugi looks like a fucking serial killer.
How many? How long is it?
Like 6
Uh,
episodes, I think, or something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
not long.
It
Oh,
wasn't long at all.
okay. Yeah, I mean, we should definitely do that sometime. That would be fun.
Yeah, they basically aired that, and then 4Kids was like, "Hey, let's bring this over to America, but our way."
We're not gonna do that. But yeah, to kind of close it out, Yu-Gi-Oh's estimated revenue of the franchise is about 20 billion. So we're a seventh of the way there to Pokemon level. If Pokemon's a 10 out of 10 on my nostalgia rating, Yu-Gi-Oh's a solid 8.5. That's where I'm gonna put it.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. It's around that for me too. Because Pokemon, you know, is top of the top. You know, number one nostalgia of childhood days. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh, even though I had a lot of fun with like the cards and like dueling people, especially like my later childhood days and teens and stuff like that, I had a lot of fun with Yu-Gi-Oh, dueling people and shit. So I can't complain.
Hell
But
yeah.
No, Yu-Gi-Oh was a lot of fun. I would probably say 8, maybe even closer to a 9. I mean, while the story was definitely like kidified, still a good story, still enjoyable. A lot of good memories while watching it and stuff like that. So I've gone back and I've actually rewatched it more recently too. Like in the past 2 years, I've like just
Yeah, you did.
rewatched it all.
Did you watch GX?
Yes.
Dude, I just gotta say,
So,
GX has one of the most banging OPs of all time.
oh
I don't
yeah,
care.
oh yeah. I
Chilling out
mean,
with the crew in the schoolyard.
everything about it was good until like the last season when they brought in Yubel.
It got creepy.
and
And
But
it
yeah,
then
wasn't
no,
dubbed. They didn't dub it, so I had to go watch it subbed.
yeah.
and you can't
I
forget about the famous, the iconic, you know, it's time to duel.
That was a really bad attempt at it, but I'll let it slide.
Well, you know, I'm not the best at it. You know.
We could tell.
Awesome. Is it time to let it rip?
Yeah, it was speaking of that, one of the things I loved saying the most when I was younger was from Beyblade. That is going to be the third show that we're going to be talking about. back from the nostalgia days. And I think this is a proper way to do this list. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, to Beyblade, because I think that's the order of the biggest to the smallest, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and hell, I mean, maybe some people don't even know about Beyblade. Like, even though it was such a big thing back in my childhood and like our childhood, probably. I
D-
don't think it was like such a big deal as like Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh that it probably went under the radar for like some people. So
I mean, Beyblade had a massive resurgence when I was in college with kids. So I used to volunteer at like the local elementary school as a mentor for like a kid who had a fucked up life.
yeah,
And we'd be at the school for like 45 minutes and we'd go out and play on the playground for 45 minutes. And kids were fucking out there with Beyblades, ripping them, dude.
that's awesome.
You're watching that shit bounce off of like the slide into some child's shins and they're bleeding. And I'm like, fuck yes, this is what I remember right here. This is awesome.
Yes, and you would literally battle the Beyblades on at the bottom of the slide or whatever. That's what we'd always do too. But for y'all that don't know, there may be a few out there that's kind of confused with what the hell we're talking about. So we're talking about Beyblade. And it's a story that follows like the adventure of the Blade Breakers, who are trying to win the World Beyblade Championship by battling tops, which are called Beyblades. These Beyblades may hold bit beasts inside of them, ancient sacred beasts that can boost their power and ability, pretty much. And this is like, if I watch a lot of Pokemon and I only watch like a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh, I watched even less of Beyblade. But it didn't matter because Beyblade, it doesn't it didn't matter. You just showed up for them letting it rip. And and every time they would start letting it rip and stuff, you wouldn't even watch it. You would just go get your Beyblades and start battling your siblings or whatever, or battling yourself. Like, this is a game you could literally play by yourself, which was super fun. But this started back in the manga started back in 1999. And apparently it's still going. Like, the anime and stuff is still going. And I didn't notice, but in 2001, Madhouse, the OG Beyblade, Madhouse was the one that animated it, which is
Makes
surprising
a
because,
lot
like,
of sense.
yeah, Madhouse
Why
is
I
one of
loved it
my
so much.
favorite studios as well, and I literally never knew this. So, but apparently they got like 50 episodes in, 100 episodes, uh, for the sequels, and now they got like, it's still airing right now, being made by OLM. You got Beyblade X and like other movies and spin-offs going on. And I didn't even know it was like still going, to be honest with you. Like, I thought this show had done been over with a long time ago or whatever. So it's pretty cool that OLM, decided to pick up another toy franchise like this. So it's pretty cool. But the first line of Beyblades, they actually came out before the anime. And as far as I know, like so the Beyblades came out first, and then they made a manga after the Beyblades came out, which is really cool. That like the manga got like made after like the Beyblades took off like a month after. So
They
it's
had to
pretty
sell more
unique.
Beyblades, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what happened with Pokemon and
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the series came out and the game or the cards or the toys, and then they were like, "Oh shit, this is a cash cow. Let's get this in front of more children."
yeah. Let's make a show about this. That's the whole point of this episode, right? And you know, I Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, they made billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars or whatever in their estimated revenue, but this one is on the lower end. They only got 4 billion for Beyblades, which is a lot, you know.
I wish I
Like
had $4 billion for making fucking tops with bit
ex-
beasts inside of them.
exactly. And I found an interesting thing. It said 5 billion Beyblades was sold in the United States by 2003. So these came out in 1999. So in 4 years, 5 billion Beyblades was sold in just the United States of America. That's how big it was
I
back
mean,
in, our younger days.
I probably had 15 of those. So
I'm I don't even remember how many I had. Like I literally had like a shit ton of Beyblades. I
the
had the
arena.
freaking arena. Yeah. I had
Did you have
two
the
arenas.
super ripcord that was like a gun?
No, I had the like the trigger one or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, and you
Yeah.
fucking charge it and hit the trigger.
No, I never did have that. I
Oh, that
had
thing was sick.
the pool ones or whatever. And there for a long time, like I didn't even have like a pool cords. Like I had we just spun them by hand, which was just not super
They
fun, you
came
know what
with
I
the
mean?
pull card. How'd you pull that off?
We was little kids, bro. Just don't tell it where that shit went. You know what I mean? Um
Fair.
but yeah, this is definitely some of my early childhood memories too. Like like I said, it doesn't come close to Pokemon. But I did have a lot of fun playing playing like battling my Beyblades with my sister and like my cousins and stuff like that. I had a lot of fun. And like this was before like I got started on Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh was, like I said, was my um later obsession, I guess you can say. But Beyblade, like I didn't even care about the anime. The anime, of course, made me want to go buy these Beyblades. And the anime, like I said, every time it came on, I would just instead of watching the show, it would literally make me want to get up and start battling
Ban,
tops. You know what I mean?
ban.
Yeah. So
Bro, the anime was integral in making you want to buy these because your little kid imagination would be like, I'm activating Dragoon V, and all of a sudden you'd imagine a fucking giant dragon fighting a phoenix or like some giant lion or a turtle or some shit. The shit was gas.
yeah, it was some of the best shit ever, right? And like you said, we would literally take this shit to school, right? And I remember that when I was at school, like it became so popular in my area. Um like around I think it was like around middle school times, and they actually banned this shit because like kids was getting hurt playing Beyblade in school, and like they literally banned it. And there's like no more Beyblades. You cannot bring Beyblades to school anymore.
Dude,
So
I don't know how old Tyler is because I was playing with Beyblades in elementary school. Like I was in second grade, and he's talking middle school. He's talking Yu-Gi-Oh in high school. He's like 55 years old, dude.
well, when I say
Gotta be, or his entire like
It's just
community just
Kentucky is 10 years behind.
yes.
well
I believe that
when
wholeheartedly.
I guess when I say middle school, like they done things different here. Like
You don't
middle
say.
school.
What grade were you in middle school? Like second grade?
No, it was like a fifth. It was like fifth or something like that. Like they had they had like fifth through eighth in middle
Dude, you
school.
were not in fifth
What?
grade in 2002.
I didn't say I was playing with it in 2002.
That's
I
when
mean,
they
I
came
probably
out.
was, but huh?
That's when it came out.
Yeah, but the Beyblades was happening after 2002.
We were smoking pot and riding skateboards when I was in middle school. We had no battle tops.
We had different childhoods. I didn't have access to skateboards.
It's true. Yeah, all the roads were dirt in Kentucky until
Yeah,
2022. So
we had gravel roads, bro. You think we're gonna skate on gravel roads?
I lived on a dirt road, but there was pavement.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, I mean, I may
Tyler's
be
internal clock is just fucked. That's what
I
we're
may
learning.
be a little off on my time
So
time here.
I'm sitting there, I'm like,
A little.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, I thought me and Tyler were like really like pretty much the same age, and I'm like 31. I thought he was like 30 or 32. I can't remember.
I'm 31 as well.
Yeah, fuck off, dude. This was elementary school. This was not middle school.
It was probably both, honestly. Like I played Beyblades for a long time, bro. I love Beyblades, so
Dude, your school did not wait 8 years to fucking ban
they
this shit.
they literally whatever grade I was in, they banned that shit, bro. Like I couldn't play
Every school
Beyblades at
did,
school
dude.
anymore.
I couldn't
We were
bring
still having
Pokemon.
recess at the time, whenever the hell that was. So
That's elementary school, buddy. I couldn't bring Pokemon cards. I couldn't bring Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I couldn't bring Beyblades. I couldn't bring any of that to school.
okay, y'all just didn't want to have fun. So
No, because somebody traded their Charizard for a piece of dirt, and then their mom called and complained and got everything banned.
that'll do it. The piece of
I
dirt.
might have got the Charizard. I don't know.
You're scamming people at early age. Love to
That's
see
where
it.
Dan's sales experience started. Pokemon cards for dirt.
Hey,
That's
dude,
funny.
let me tell you about this Blaine's Moltres. Nowhere near as cool as your Shadowless first edition Charizard. That's a lame card. Everybody has that. Nobody has Blaine's Moltres.
That's funny. But yeah, this was definitely a fun time in my childhood too. Even though my memory is skewed, I guess, and I don't know when it actually was. But apparently there was like a lot of video games of Beyblade too, which I do not recall because I never
Yes.
did see any of the video games. And there's like an app and everything else, Beyblade Burst or something like that that came out. I don't know, bro. Like,
Okay. Okay.
There's a lot of bad stuff
I
for
I need
games.
I need to take a solid couple minutes here to talk about the plug and play game.
yeah,
It was the greatest thing you could have as a child. So it was like one of the launcher controllers, and it literally had a cable that you would plug into the yellow and red port on your TV. Kids who are listening, HDMI cables weren't a thing back in the day.
no,
um,
it
and
was
you
not.
couldn't like stand too far from the TV because the cable was only like 6 feet long. So you're standing like eyes glued to the TV, and you would launch it, and then it had a little wheel on top of it, and you could control whether your top went. And then there was a button you could smash, and you would use like the Bit Beast abilities. Like you'd be like, "Fucking, let's go Dragoon, let's turn into a fucking tornado and tear this other little top up." It was awesome.
It
It was
was.
fucking awesome.
I had one of these too, and like it's been so long that I have literally no idea how it played or whatever. But I do remember having one of these games though that you could just plug into the TV. So
Like I forgot about this, and then I read that one line, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is a core childhood memory unlocked."
yeah, I mean, like you said, kids nowadays they literally don't know about the struggles we used to have playing the plug and play games on the TV or whatever. Like
I want to buy.
most of the TVs, like they was like the big ones that like just sit on the ground or whatever, right? And like when you standing up, you literally had to look down like towards your feet to to see the TV, right? Because you was having to stay in so close to it. So
Oh my, I can
um
buy this for $25.
Dan's looking at eBay
I'm
right
literally on
now.
eBay. Yeah,
Yeah, he's gonna he's gonna make a purchase to play the old Beyblades again. So,
it says
um,
untested, so it might not work. That's not what I want.
but one thing like one thing that I know, like even though they kept coming out with like anime and like different spin-offs and like they're still making tops nowadays. It seems to be like more advanced and strategic now though. But I literally like I'm not I'm not like into that kind of circle, I guess, you know? Like I don't know people, I don't have friends with uh kids and stuff like that, I guess.
Oh,
So I don't
Tyler,
really
all these
know.
things existed when we were playing the game.
I'm saying that I don't know if I haven't seen anybody playing Beyblades anymore. So like spinning them or whatever. Like do y'all have any do y'all ever see anybody doing it? Any kids nowadays?
I haven't seen it since I was volunteering in high or in college, like I said, but
Yeah.
the whole like attack, defense Beyblades, the balance, all that, like that existed when we had them as kids.
I
You
didn't know
could
about that.
you could change, remember how they like you could pop the top off and you could change the weight. So that would affect it. And then depending on what Beyblade you had, like the top sheet would have different spikes or like they'd be built really thick and burly so you couldn't like flick them and all this other stuff. That all
Okay.
existed. It was strategy.
I don't remember all that. I'm
I
not gonna
played
lie.
a
So
Dragoon V and I put the biggest weight you could on it. So that thing was a fucking tank was with ninja star sides, dude.
that's super cool. No wonder I kept on losing to some of these kids.
Didn't know you enjoy playing, but you never dived more into it.
He, j-
Yeah,
he,
I mean,
he didn't play. He just spin the tops with his fingers.
for a long time, I really did, bro. I
He's
ain't
up there
even
playing
playing.
Dreidel instead of Beyblade, dude.
uh, but yeah. So, um, like they had all these different animes coming out, different gens or whatever, and apparently, like it's starting to make a comeback now. Is what I read online with the Beyblade X that came out in 2023. Um, which that is, of course, like the general like vibe I got from reading Google for 10 minutes. So, uh, because I mean, they say like the Beyblade X tops and like stuff like that literally is sold out on launch and stuff like that. So, so it makes sense, that it also makes sense like stuff like this is on its way up now, especially like post COVID, because like this kind of stuff is more popular now, right? It's more mainstream now. So which is definitely better for sales of like these kind of things, especially like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Beyblade as well. So um definitely don't hurt to be more popular and more mainstream, which I think it is nowadays. So
Yeah, I mean, in general, tabletop gaming is seeing a huge resurgence, not just with some of these older animes that used to be, but even some older stuff that didn't get animated. One that I used to play a lot of, BattleTech, it got made into a game called Mech Warrior, but nowadays it's had a huge resurgence. They're coming out with new packs almost every other year, and they're doing Kickstarter funding to fund these new sets and test it. And it's really cool. Not to mention though, too, that you're seeing a lot more stuff start to just be a little bit more prevalent, stuff like that. Dungeons and Dragons, they've got Pathfinder. A lot of newer games are starting to pop up from people who worked on these old games,
But they're not Beyblade.
and they are not Beyblade.
they're not letting them rip,
They're
if you
not,
know what
dude.
I mean.
Yeah, if you don't yell, let it rip. I don't want to play.
3, 2,
Fair,
1.
Or it's
fair.
time to, as Tyler says, duel.
What? That's worse than what I do. At least I try to put some heart into it, It just don't sound like I do because, I don't,
It's a tough sentence to say with twang,
yeah, it's very tough because, I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. And then when I say something like that, like who knows if I'm saying it right? So
Just wing it. We believe in you, Tyler.
hell yeah. But
Is
yeah,
is that all you had for Beyblade?
that's it for Beyblade. I think is that all we're gonna talk about today since
Yeah, since we rattled on for a
since we
long
talked
time.
about our childhood for hours.
Dude, that was
Sorry,
fun
guys.
though. That was
Pokemon
fun.
really took a lot of time.
That
Uh,
was fun.
I
It
think
was.
ours took equal amounts of time. So
It didn't help though. We kept interjecting with all of our core memories of Pokemon.
yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this episode, anyways. You know, it's just talk about how old we was. So
Just to talk about Pokemon. That's all we really wanted to do.
Yeah, dude.
We needed to talk about something else too, but Pokemon was why we're here.
I ripped a Pokemon TCG pack mid podcast. I got
really,
a secret art Gyarados.
Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Let's see it.
Oh, it's I'd have to go find. I have like 5 of these, but I got a Gyarados, so that was cool. But awesome.
yeah.
Well, guys, we appreciate you hanging out, kicking it back. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one. It was very nostalgic for all of us. If you had another anime that influenced you buying a lot of stuff as a kid, jump in the Discord, let us know. One that comes to mind for me is Zoids. I spent a fuck ton of money as a kid on Zoids.
It's such a good anime too.
I wonder.
Oh, dude,
I
incredible.
wonder if Digimon is up there too for people.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Everybody
lot
had
of
a
people.
Digivice back in the day.
Not me, but okay.
Well, it's because
I
they
had
weren't cool.
Speaking of that, I had a Pokédex too, bro. Just
Oh,
so
the
you
little
know.
red one.
Yeah, I had one of those too, bro.
Nice.
That just reminded me of the Pokédex. So
All right, I'm calling it. We got to end this before we go on for another hour and a half. We appreciate you guys listening this week. We'll be back. Well, these guys will be back next week with the Degens and the rundown. So, bye. Love you. Bye.
peace.